Hey everybody, Coach Troy here. Now it's getting towards that time of year where we're stuck hanging out with the families at all the gatherings, especially with that awkward sister of yours, you know what I'm talking about? Anyway, one thing that we can do to make it just a little bit more bearable is by bringing some games, right? So here's a list of 10 games that have definitely worked out big time with my family. Not in any particular order because, of course, it is all situational. Anyway, let's hit up that list. First game up on the list is a classic, alright? It is Pit. I got the older version here, come on, it comes with the orange bell. How could you go wrong? Anyway. Alright, you look to replicate the New York Stock Exchange as you guys are in real time trading back and forth different commodities, trying to corner the market. So as soon as somebody has a hand of all the same cards, you ding that bell, and that ends the round. First person to get to a certain point value wins. This game is loud. This game is obnoxious. This game is very exciting. So, if you want something really active that you guys are going to go crazy with and be loud with, plays up to 7 people, which is fantastic as well. I always recommend Pit. Alright, so I'll be the first to admit that the stock market is not the most exciting theme. So if you want something that appeals to the kids just a little bit more than that, is even more exciting, I'm going to say Happy Salmon. In that game, everyone is going to get a deck of cards, and you're going to draw cards one at a time, and you're going to try to match somebody that's got the same card as you. So high five, going to find someone else with high five, you're going to high five. Ooh, got another one, pound it, you got to fist bump somebody, boom, boom. And ooh, switcheroo, you're going to switch spaces at the table with them. Alright, this game is loud, it's exciting, it's obnoxious for everyone else, of course, around in the room. But if you got, say, younger kids, even teenagers, but you want them to burn off some energy, to get active, get wild, get moving, Happy Salmon is a great game for that. Plays up to 6 players, and you could actually get 2 of those decks, and you can play up to 12 players if you really want to. And I'd say it actually scales extremely well with that. So I'm going to recommend that one, especially if you got the younger ones. That is Happy Salmon. Another great game, if you got the younger ones, is Rhino Hero. Think of it as a combination of both Jenga and Uno. Alright, Jenga because you're going to be building up a tower of cards, right? So you got that aspect where you're building things up. And Uno because a lot of the cards or the floors have abilities that are going to mess with the next player, right? And you are trying to get rid of your deck of cards, right? Or a hand of cards. You're going to have 5 of them. You want to get rid of those as you're stacking up. So the first player to lose all their cards wins, or the player with the fewest cards when the tower does finally crumble is the winner. Alright, great game for the younger ones, but actually plays very well with older ones as well. Heck, even adults, like I say, I play this game very frequently with buddies of mine, especially if, we may have had a couple beverages. Anyway, highly recommended game, Rhino Hero. Now, if you want something a little less active and more like a card game, I'm going to recommend No Thanks, alright? No Thanks is a little different because the player with the lowest score at the end of the game wins, alright? So every player is going to start out with a stack of small chips. And in the middle of the table will be a deck of cards. These are numbered 1 through 36. Going to be shuffled up. And on your turn, you're going to flip over a card, put it in the middle of the table. Boom. Alright, now if you want that card, you can take it. If you don't want it, you can say, no thanks, and throw one of your chips on there. Alright, now eventually, if you run out of chips, you have to take that card. Or if you just see a nice size of chips on there that you want, you can take that card. At the end of the game, once all the deck is done, you are going to add up all the cards that you got, except if you have a sequential run of cards, like I've got 12 through 17 here, I would only add up the lowest number in that run. Then I would minus any leftover chips that I got and say, lowest score wins. Now this is, it's not exactly a card game, and it kind of gives you that feeling of gambling, but not really. It's more of like an anti-bidding, I guess, or reverse bidding on things that you don't want to have. If that makes sense at all. Now, this is a great game for, after dinner, you're feeling a little lethargic. You just want to sit around a table, not really think too much about things. But the tension does ramp up, especially towards the end, or when you have a big number card that nobody wants to take, but you're going to see who actually breaks and takes it because they need chips. Or if you're really wanting that one number in a run because you've got 12, 13, 14, 15, you need the 16, and then you have 17, 18, 19, and you don't want to double that. So, a good game that adds a lot of tension, but it's still not too crazy, a little more relaxed, great for after dinner. I'm going to recommend No Thanks. Speaking of games that seem like gambling but are not quite gambling, at Vegas Dice. There's a few different versions of this game. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a handful of dice, chuck those dice, put matching dice into a casino. Once everyone's going to take turns going around until you run out of dice. Whoever's got the most dice in a casino at the end of the round gets all the money in that casino, right? 3 rounds of that, whoever's got the most money wins. Simple enough. Now, this is a fun dice chucker. There's not a whole lot of depth to it, but you will be competing and there will be definitely fighting, and you're going to be really just hoping, praying for those right dice rolls. You're going to be getting in fights with people who are trying to go in the same casino as you, saying, get out of there. So a lot of area control in that as well. Very simple to teach, fun, plays up to 5 players. I like this game. I definitely played with the family a lot. That is Vegas Dice. The next game up on the list is the very popular micro game, Love Letter. Alright, in Love Letter, we have a small deck of cards with numbers and special abilities. Everyone is going to draw 1 card to start, and on your turn, you're going to draw another card and play one of them for its ability. Alright, lots of different abilities. You can look at somebody else's card. You can swap cards. You can try to guess somebody else's card. If you guess it, that player is eliminated. You want to eliminate all the other players, or if the deck runs out, the player with the highest numbered card at the end is going to be the winner. All right. This is a nice, easy, simple game. People can hop in and out. My nieces and nephews affectionately call this one the princess game. The version we play is the Adventure Time version. There's lots of different versions. There's even a Batman version I've seen. And all the different versions have slightly different rules, but they're all very simple. There are, easy index cards that are going to give you all the card powers and how they play. Super simple to teach. Quick to play, you can hop in and out. I'd recommend this one as well. That is Love Letter. Next up, we got One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Alright, in this game, everyone is going to take a roll card and put it down in front of them. And then we go into the night phase, where everyone closes their eyes. Now, all these roll cards, there's werewolves and there's villagers, and some of the villagers will have special powers. And during that night phase, they can do different things like switch other people's cards, peek at cards, sometimes steal someone's cards, several different things, alright? And once the night phase is over, everyone will open their eyes and wake up, and they're going to start talking and trying to debate out and figure out who the werewolf is. And after a couple minutes of that, everyone is going to point at someone. Whoever's got the most votes pointed at them will be killed. If a werewolf is killed, the villagers win. If a villager is killed, the werewolf wins. All right, now this game is great because at least during the night phase, there'll be a nice quiet time in the house. Not always the case, but at least for a moment it'll be quiet. But of course, once the accusations start flying on who people think are a werewolf and what they've done, then it's going to get extremely loud again. All right, this is a great game. I probably have played this game more than any other game I've got on this list, quite a bit. And say there's expansions to it with different roles. There's different versions of it. So there's a lot of different replayability, plays up to 7, and definitely one of my favorite games, that is One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Next game on the list is, not quite Cards Against Humanity, alright? The game I'm talking about is Say Anything. Alright, my version is lent out right now, so I don't got my copy. But Say Anything is a great game like that, where on your player's turn, they are going to ask a question, then everyone will have a little whiteboard, and they're going to write their own answers. So you write your own answers down. And then it's not just who came up with the best answer. People are going to bet on whoever's turn it is asking the question on what answer they're going to pick. So you have a bunch of answers, and then you can gamble on what answers you think are going to be picked, or which ones are the best. So that, it's a great game. So you're not just limited to what it says on the cards with someone else's sense of humor, like Cards Against Humanity or Apples to Apples. It really steps up from Apples to Apples. So again, you can make this game what you want it to be, depending on the crowd that you're with. So you can say things that are a little more risque, or you can keep it, very, very PG. Up to you. You make the game what you want it to be. Really like Say Anything. Next up, we got another classic party game in Taboo. absolutely love this game. In this game, you're going to have two teams, and on your turn, you're going to grab a card with a word on it that you're going to try to get the rest of your team to guess. So I have key here. But to get, I can't use the word door, open, car, lock, or house. So I try to get them to say that without saying any of these other words. So you're going to have to use other ways, other strategies. Sometimes there's shared events you got with different family members that you can talk about to get them to guess different words. So a lot of fun, a lot of different things come out of it. You're going to find you have those weird connections with family members, and you're going to find them playing this game. All right, again, another classic game. It plays. You don't need a table for it. You can just play it out in the living room, which is nice. You can have a ton of players, all right? Because you got two teams, but you can have as many players as you want on those two teams. So this game definitely is great for families. So again, people can drop in and out. You can move. You can make it whatever you need it to be, and that's the reason I really love Taboo. Now, if you like Taboo, but you want to step it up a notch, I'm going to say Time's Up, Title Recall in particular, all right? So just like in Taboo, you're going to have different teams, and you're going to have sets of cards with different things on them. This one, titles like music titles, Dancing Queen, TV shows like The Andy Griffith Show, there'll be movies, books, whatever. You're going to have a stack of those, and you're going to go through. First round, it's just like Taboo, you're trying to get people to guess what's on there without saying exactly what's on there. Second round, it's going to be the same cards mixed up, but you can only say one word, but you can act things out. Third round, you can't say anything, you can just act things out. So you're morphing from Taboo to charades over the course of the game, and you're just kind of gonna develop this like almost your own sign language in trying to get people to guess these cards. It is a whole lot of fun, whole lot of laughs. It's great time. Really love this one. This might be my favorite family party game to do. There are other versions, or another version. There's Time's Up, the regular one, which will just have names on it, names of people like Hank, Aaron, Joan of Arc. I find that one a little harder to do with people because there are a lot of things, a lot of names of people that people don't really get. So, but if that's your style, hey, you can get this version instead. But personally, I'm going to say Time's Up, Title Recall. Now for the final game, if you want something that is not competitive as you're fighting each other, but it's cooperative, you're working together, I'm going to recommend Just One. Now in this game, it's like Taboo, but instead, when it's your turn, you're not trying to get the team to guess a word, the team is trying to get you to guess a word. Alright, so there's going to be a word, everyone else is going to see it, except you, and they're all going to write down one-word clues to try to get you to guess what it is. Now the trick here is everyone's going to hold them up before you can see, and if any of them are matching, those clues are eliminated. So you want to say something, you want to write down a clue that is good, but not something that other people are going to write down. So do I go with the obvious? Do I go with something a little different? It's a great take on that kind of a game. And again, you're working together. You're going to get a team score after so many rounds, and you're going to rank yourselves based on how you were there. So, and again, like most of these games, at the end, the score doesn't really matter so much. It's just about the moments, the clues, the ridiculousness that comes out of it. When you've got a little one in the group that might be struggling, but when they come out with just a brilliant clue that's perfect that nobody else thought of, those are just great moments. And that's kind of what the whole family game time is all about at these gatherings. So again, I highly recommend this one. Check it out, Just One. All right, everyone, that is my list. These are the games I like to play. They're for the family gatherings. I find that simple to teach, painless setup and cleanup, and variable player count is just very important and vital. And I think all those games kind of hit that. But let me know what you think. Are there some games that you want to recommend to me? I'm always looking for new games to try. I always love checking new things out. Am I right or wrong about some of these things? Tell me, let me know, all right? Anyway, happy holidays, and I'll see y'all next time.